So as you all know, Patricia, and all of you that are joining live, today we're covering tools for managing your church in times of crisis. My name is Katrina Douglas. I am the head of marketing for Good to Give, and I will be taking you through today's presentation along with my colleague, Belinda, who will be here to really check on the conversation in the chat. And if you do have any questions, please do post them in the chat box, and we will be sure to make sure we get back to you. We will be answering any questions that you have live at the end of this presentation. So firstly, what we're covering today. So the first thing is tools and tips for thriving online and growing your church online during this time of crisis. And the next is how Good to Give can support you during this time and beyond. And then finally, we're going to have a live Q&A. So I'm going to give you an opportunity to ask any questions that you have. So I really like this quote that I saw on ITV News. And I think what is so incredible about this time is the fact that church attendance has doubled during this time of the pandemic. So it really is an unprecedented opportunity for the church. And Albergo, leader of Emmanuel Church, I think he really hit the nail on the head in this quote. So he says, we're just learning how to do church in totally bizarre circumstances for us, but it's exciting. And I think it is exciting. So he says, I think we're going to learn how to be a community by other means, and it's going to test us and stretch us, which it absolutely is. But I believe if we get it right, we'll be able to serve hundreds and hundreds of people. So there's 3 steps for thriving online that I want to share with you. So the first one is embrace the technology. And I know it can be overwhelming. It's almost like all these churches, well, it's literally like a ton of churches had to suddenly move from a physical premise to online, and suddenly had to get familiar with the technology, and that can be overwhelming. But what I will say is embrace the technology and don't allow it to overwhelm you. Really decide where you want to show up, whether that's Facebook, whether that's Instagram, whether that's YouTube, and really just focus on showing up there. And then the second thing is be sociable. Connect with people online beyond the Sunday service. I mean, social media is a great opportunity for us to really demonstrate the fact that church is not just about Sunday, it's about all week. Like, we don't stop being Christians on Monday through to Friday. So it's a really great opportunity to be sociable. And also remember that how you reach people offline is fundamentally the same as how you reach people offline. So what I mean by that is the same things that really attract people to you, your organization, Christian principles of love, friendliness, kindness, those things still apply online. So as much as it might seem like it's a completely brand new world, in many ways it isn't. It's really a natural extension and progression of what churches have been doing for years. And so the next thing is the importance of video. Video is super important, and here's a few reasons why that is. Next to showing up in person and connecting with people in person, video is the most powerful way to communicate, because as we know, you connect with people on various levels in video. So it's voice, it's facial expression, it's body language. And so people can receive more from you via video than they can through other communication channels. It also fosters trust and community. And I think especially in times like that, that is important. People want to know who you are, who is the face behind your organization, what do you stand for? Trust and community are super important. And what is great about now is that the relationships and community that you build now online, they will follow you and come back with you when your church can, be established back in a physical presence and premises after the crisis subsides. And also, video encourages social sharing. So, for example, if you post text on Facebook, for example, that's gonna encourage people less to share than if it's a video. Google also absolutely loves video. So if you're sharing video, it's gonna show up more in the search rankings. You will see at the top when you search anything, videos show up at the top as separate kind of content options. So Google really loves video, and it is also great for mobile. Many of us absolutely run our lives from our phones. So the fact that video is great for mobile is also super good. So these are just some reasons why, apart from the obvious reasons, why you should be showing up on video. So the first tool, this is the first of 5 tools that I want to share with you today. So the first one is Zoom. So Zoom is a great tool. In fact, if you haven't used it already, we are on Zoom. So you're having a first-hand experience of Zoom and how it works. And so you can use it for online gatherings on a Sunday. You can also use it for virtual meetings with your team, and you can also use it for trainings. So while you're having to communicate with your church in different ways remotely, it's a great tool for that. I practically live on Zoom. I know all of us at Good to Give spend a lot of time on Zoom, and it's a really great tool. So the pricing options, the great thing is you can start from free. The major restriction with that is the fact that you can only Zoom for 40 minutes with a maximum of 2 people, and you can start again. So for most churches, the free version isn't really going to be an option. It's more for personal use. So for most churches, the £15 a month or £119 a year option is going to be best for you. And then there's also a webinar option, which allows you to do online trainings without the participation of those who are joining. So yeah, you won't be able to see people on the side like you can today. And there's various other options for that. But for most people, for most churches, to be fair, the £15 a month option is going to be good. So for that price point, you can have up to 100 guests, 100 participants. You can also share your screen and presentations like I'm doing today. You can also record your meetings. And like I said, you can host webinars and online trainings. If you have any questions, please do pop them in the chat box, and I will be sure to get to them at the end. So I wanted to show you the Zoom interface if you haven't seen it already. It's pretty clean and easy to use. So I'll start on the left-hand side. So meetings is where most of us start. So here you can schedule meetings. You can see previous meetings, the links for previous meetings that you've held. If you go further to the left, at the top, you can see that you can go straight to scheduling meetings or also joining meetings. And welcome to those of you who are coming in. And then you can also see recordings. So when it comes to recordings, you have 2 options. You can either record to what Zoom calls the cloud. So you can access it in Zoom. The thing about that is storage is very limited. So if you have a PC or a laptop with large enough capacity, I always say save to your desktop or save to your computer. It's the much safer option. So that's kind of it for the interface. And also, if you look at Get Training, what's really good is Zoom have a really good knowledge base. So if you have any questions or if you need any tutorials, then you can go there and find out. And then when you're ready to start your meeting, it's as simple as just pressing the start button. So there's a couple of things, well, more than a couple of things, a few things that I want to really draw your attention to. So when you go to start a meeting, it has the regular options, which I haven't screenshot here. It has the regular options such as what is the name of the meeting, what is the time of the meeting, and that sort of thing. Now, there's a couple of options that I want to draw your attention to here. So the first thing is you can give people the option to register in advance or not, and that would be where it says registration and required. So if you want people to register before, for example, if you're hosting a conference or an event or a seminar, you might want people to register before, you can tick this box. The next thing is your meeting password. So Zoom has really upped security. Some of you may have seen stories in the news recently of passwords and such getting leaked. So Zoom have really upped their security. So you can now, well, you've always been able to have a password, but here is the option to select whether you want people to have a password or not. And mute your videos for me, that would be amazing, just so that I don't get any feedback. And then also this option here, enable waiting room. And this is a great example. A great example of this is, for example, if you're a pastor and you have a number of meetings back to back, you want to stay in the same Zoom room, you can literally hold people in a waiting room, a virtual waiting room, and so that they don't disturb your current meeting. And then you can wait for people to leave and then let them in. And then also, if you do want to record the meeting, you can do so automatically by clicking this box. The final thing I want to say to you is there is an option within Zoom so you can have multiple hosts from the same account. If two say pastors are using the same Zoom account and they have a meeting at the same time, Zoom will cancel one of those meetings. So if you want to avoid that from happening, you need to put a separate email address for one of those meetings in this alternative host. And I say that because it's not always obvious what this option is. So that's what it's for, and that's how you use it. So I know when it comes to online churches and streaming live and being online, most people think about Facebook first. But YouTube is absolutely golden for churches. And here's just a few reasons why. There's over 2 billion users on YouTube. Millennials, so younger congregants, are the biggest audience. There's over 1 billion hours of video watched daily on YouTube, and over 70% of views come from mobile devices. And like I said, well, I don't know if I said this, but YouTube is owned by Google. So it is the #2 search engine. So a lot of churches will be migrating to Facebook. Facebook is great. But YouTube, if you haven't considered YouTube, I encourage you to. One of the biggest reasons to consider YouTube is the fact that they have a non-profit program. So with this program, you have a number of additional benefits that standard YouTube users don't have access to. And here are a few. So you can link directly to your site from YouTube, from your YouTube videos. If you have a standard account, you cannot do that. YouTube doesn't allow active links within the videos. So, but if you are a church, you can do that. So you can use it to drive traffic to your website or drive people to your website. Also, YouTube will put some extra kind of, what's the word, energy behind promoting your content. So they will make your content stand out more than if you're just a regular YouTube user. You also have additional resources for producing your videos, and you also have access to dedicated technical support. So if you are having trouble, YouTube will support you in that. So I will actually send out some information on this nonprofit program in the follow-up email, but if you haven't considered YouTube, then you absolutely should. So here are a few ways that you can use YouTube. So the first way is, of course, to live stream Sunday services. You can upload Bible studies on there. You can have teaching series. And why series are good is because a lot of people binge watch on YouTube. So when you go on YouTube, and we've all probably done it, you don't just watch one video, but if you like the YouTube host or the YouTube channel, typically you'll sit there and watch one or two. So it's good. Teaching series could be really good for that. Also, praise and worship content is good for YouTube, and you can also have devotionals. So, you know, I said prior that it's good to be social and be sharing content, not just on Sundays. Here are a few examples that you can use to do just that. And here's an example that I like. This was a Sunday service from about 2 weeks ago, the 22nd of March. Timely topic, the virus more dangerous than Corona, cyber church. And you can see here, well, you might not be able to see because it's small, but in 2 weeks, it's had 5,656 views. Now, I know that's not going to be the case for everybody, but this just demonstrates the visibility of YouTube and the life that your content will have after you stream it live. Again, you've got 245 likes here. On the right hand side, you can see how much chat is going on. So people are actually engaging and chatting while this live stream is going on. So a really good example of how an actual real church is using YouTube, and it's super powerful. And in terms of having people view your church and your services after you stream live, there probably isn't a better channel. So even if you don't want to stream live on YouTube, what you could do is stream on Facebook if you find it easier. download the video and upload it to YouTube. But I would absolutely say if you want to increase the visibility of your church, then YouTube is a super good option. And so this is tool number 3. So StreamYard, if you kind of want to be in multiple places at the same time, so for example, you want to stream on YouTube, you want to stream on Facebook, and you want to do it at the same time, you can do it using this tool. So again, the interface is really simple, really clean, and you can see here, you can set up your broadcast in advance. Destinations is the social media channels that you actually want to use. You can look at past broadcasts as well. Something to be mindful of. With the free version, you can only stream to one platform. And with the paid version, you can record, you can save your videos. So StreamYard will save your videos, but you have to download them within 7 days. But as you can see, the interface is really clean, really easy to use. And when you set up your meeting and you go into it, you can also add multiple people as well. You can invite guests. So this is a really good benefit of StreamYard as well. And if you have the paid version, which starts from $25 because it's a US platform a month, you can also add your church branding, which is really useful. And here's an example of what that looks like. Okay. So now the next tool I want to talk to you about, I'm super excited about, is our very own donation app that we are actually running a beta for. So we're offering a few churches the opportunity to test this, a very, very small number of churches to test this app. And this app allows you to receive donations via the mobile app, as well as making a lot of stuff that you do much, much easier. So we're super excited about this. And actually, we're looking for just a handful of churches to really test this app. And for that, we're offering 2 months free. So if you are interested in joining the beta, please do message Belinda in the chat box now with your name and email address. And I'm just going to talk to you about why this app is so powerful. So the main benefits that it offers is reduced administration. So no more scanning of envelopes for those using the app. Increased member participation because we are all on our mobile phones. And so you're now engaging with your congregants and with your members via their mobile phones. It also increases church organization, so better organization for your resources. And one of the most important benefits is it absolutely increases donations. And I want to share a stat that actually isn't ours, but it's an objective stat about why mobile rules and why apps in particular are so powerful. So I'm just going to read this to you. So it says, when it comes to non-traditional tithing, mobile absolutely rules. Apps are the clear winner, with 57% of people preferring a mobile option. Web giving accounts for only 24%. And that compared to 57% of people that prefer to give via an app. I mean, that's a significant difference. And if you even compare that to text giving, which is only 14%. So, you know, the app is great. It's going to be great for a number of churches. And so once again, if you do want to join that beta with a very small number of churches, and you'll get 2 months absolutely free, please do message Belinda in the chat box now, and we will get some more information to you. Now, the final tool I want to share with you is free conference call. Now, prayer, we're seeing it across the board in churches. Like, people are praying like never before, and coming together in prayer like they never have in churches. And so this is just a really simple tool that actually my church uses. And we have 5 a.m. prayer every morning using this tool. You can mute people as they come on. You can have as many people as you like on the prayer call, but it's a really cool, simple tool, yeah, to host online prayer meetings. So those are the tools. I'm actually going to open up for questions here. I wasn't going to, but if you have any questions, unmute yourselves and feel free to ask them. Do you have any questions at this point?
Yeah, it's about how to use the prayer tune.
Sorry, say that again?
How do I go about using the prayer tone? Do I have to download the software, or is it already, I just have to go on your website?
You literally have to just go in and sign up, and then it will give you a link and a number and a pin that all your members can use, and then you just share that out. Like in my church, every week they share the number and the pin on social media, and they also share it on WhatsApp. So literally you sign up, you get your own conference line, and you get your own pin, and it's that simple.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when I sign in on, do I download the app for that as well?
No, you don't have to download the app to that. You just go to the website. So freeconferencecall.com. Let me just go back. Yeah, freeconferencecall.com.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay.
Perfect.
All right.
Any other questions?
Yeah, that's all right for now.
Okay.
Can I ask a question, please?
Sure, Patricia.
What I need to know regarding that free conference call, is there a limit to the numbers that can be on it? And secondly, if there is a large group of people, will that the quality of the call, will that be compromised?
Okay, so in answer to your question, the answer is there probably is, but I don't know what that number is off the top of my head. But I could find that out and just get back to you with that after this webinar, Patricia. And secondly, I've used, like I use with my church every week, and there's often quite a few of us on the call, and I've never experienced difficulties in the quality of your call. So I've never experienced that. It's always pretty good quality. But yeah, that's what I would say.
Okay, that's interesting, because we do actually have, I mean, at the moment, our Sunday services there's a number that we dial in, we use the PIN to access it. So that's what we've been using for several weeks now. And it was just on this Sunday that there was a lot more people who had dialed in, but the quality of the line was just really, really bad. So that's why I'm asking it. And I need to find out. I don't think it was a free conference call platform that was used, but I will find out whether that's what they used.
Okay, great. Yeah, no, this one, in my experience, it's been pretty good.
Okay, thank you.
So do you have any more questions?
Yeah, quick one with regard to Zoom. Now, I've been using Zoom for a couple of weeks, and I'm trying to make one of the member an administrator as well. Yeah. But that's been a bit complicated. You mentioned about using another email address to set that up.
Yeah. So you have to, there's a number of packages. So you have to use the paid account, but there's three paid accounts. You need to use a second paid option that allows you to have up to 3 hosts.
Okay.
And then when you use that one, you can have up to 3 hosts. And then when both of you are arranging calls or want to have administrative rights, in the alternative host box, you just put the other person's email. Does that make sense?
It does. But what I'm trying to do is that sometimes, because as it is now, I possibly stay in the church and program things out. So the second person could be managing the system while we're at home. So that's what we intended. So is it possible for me to be on program and the second host keep monitoring things and managing the system?
What you could do is you could let them become the host. So you could let your administrator or whoever the person is become the host, and you join as an attendee. That way, if you need to, if I'm understanding correctly, if you need to do something else, that person has control of the call. So if you need to leave or you need to do something else, that person has the controls.
Okay.
That makes sense?
It does make sense. So the person can always be the administrator. I can always log in through that, and I carry on, delivering my message while he or she make any adjustment.
Yeah, I would actually advise that if you are teaching on Zoom, I would say let somebody else be the administrator so that you don't have to focus on that side of things. And also my colleague Belinda, I believe, has something to say.
Okay.
Yeah, I just was gonna add, because I use Zoom as well for work. But you can actually give someone else permission to host a meeting while you're in that meeting. So if at the moment you have meetings scheduled and the other person doesn't have a license, you can always, in the interim, you have the choice to give another attendee permission to host the meeting.
Okay, so do I just go into the system and set it from the beginning when I'm programming
No,
it?
in that instance, you would do it during the meeting. So if you enter the meeting early, and both of you are in the meeting, you can always say, I'm going to pass over the host to you, and that way you'll be able to leave the meeting, or they can control the meeting while you're preaching or what have you.
Okay, that's good. That's fine.
But that's just a temporary fix. But if this is going to happen all the time, definitely make sure they have a license so that all time restrictions are removed from that point.
Okay. Yeah. Also, each time I'm on the Zoom, after the first 40 minutes, it gets cut off. Is there anything I could do to?
Yes, that's because you're probably using a free account. You need to upgrade to the paid option.
Okay. Okay. So I just go to the website and just upgrade to paid option.
Yes, so you go into your account and then you just upgrade.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I'll try to do that.
Anything else?
Yeah. Thank you so much. Yeah,
No
that's all for
problem.
now. Thanks.
Okay. So here's some guidance from the Charities Commission during the crisis that I wanted to share with you. So trustees should do a 6-month financial projection, just so you know what your financial commitments are going to look like over the next 6 months. Secondly, cancellation of AGMs may result in a delay of accounts being approved. So it really is advised that you should have your AGM via virtually, essentially, have it remotely. And so Zoom is going to be a great option for this. And then you can also record that as well. And then also churchgoers are still encouraged to continue to donate online, and many churches are holding services online, as we know. And Good to Give can really assist you with that. And that's where the app is going to be incredibly important and incredibly powerful for you. And why I really wanted to share this slide with you is because all of this guidance that the Charities Commission is advising or providing are things that we can absolutely support you with. So I definitely encourage you to get in touch with a member of our team, because there's so much we can help you with at this time. And I'm just going to briefly go through the range of services that we offer. So the first is financial management. We have a whole accounting service. So even in terms of submitting your accounts during this time, we can kind of take a lot of that burden and a lot of that pressure off you so that you can focus on more of the frontline issues that you need to take care of. Also, funding. So we have a whole funding unit that can support you with getting funding in this time during the crisis as well. And you know, also setting up charities as well and support for your charity, gift aid, retrospective claiming, and also just making sure that you're claiming consistently. We can support you with that. And also GDPR, as well as our mobile app. So there's so many ways that we can absolutely support you during this time. So what I'm going to do, actually, I'm just going to take a poll. I'm going to stop sharing for a minute, and I'm going to share a poll. And if you could tell me which of our services that you are perhaps interested in, just bear with me a second. My phone is not working. So what we're going to do instead, typical technology, instead, if you are interested in any of these services, please can you comment in the chat box which of these services most resonate with you. It is going to be really useful and really handy for us to know what service is going to be most useful for you.
Yeah.
Absolutely, Isa, I hope I'm pronouncing your name wrong. The requirements for receiving funding. Can I just say, can I get someone to contact you afterwards on what the requirements for funding are, Isa? And someone can really talk you through that. And yeah, I think that's probably going to be the best way to really deal with that. If that's okay, I will get someone to contact you directly after the call. Pastor D, that's amazing. Gift aid and accounting. We'll get somebody to contact you about that as well after the call. That's amazing. Anyone else want to submit the good to give services that they are
funding and gift aids?
Funding and gift aid. Okay, perfect. And Pastor, please, can you confirm your name? I just see Christ Transformation Parish.
Yes, that's Christ Transformation Parish, Akiele, Reverend Akiele.
Okay, could you just pop that in? I like to get names correct. So if you could pop that in the chat box so I have it, that would be amazing.
The chat box, right?
Yeah.
Let me see, is it the participants? I haven't got the chat box. Okay.
If you hover over your image, there should be an option.
Yes.
Excellent. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to resume sharing my screen. Can you see this? Can you see my screen?
Just on the chat screen now.
Okay.
See it.
No, we can't see it yet.
Okay, let me resume sharing. Perfect. All right. Okay, so I want to share some final tips with you before we wrap up today. So the first one is get familiar with the tools and test them out. So I've given you 5 today. Definitely download them. All of them have free options. So you can test them, get familiar with them, get comfortable with them. I also want to say, don't worry about perfection. Like, this whole world of online church is brand new for so many of us. And so just brace yourselves, I would say, and don't worry about perfection. Just get started and, go from there. The most important thing is your message. So, just get started, I would say. And then also utilize the services and support that are available. Like I've said to you, we are totally here to support you. The reason we hosted this seminar and are hosting so many other seminars this month, in fact, this is the first of 4 seminars we're hosting this month, online webinars. Tap into that. We're here to help and we're here to support you. And in the follow-up email, I will also put the link to those other webinars. Next week, in fact, we are hosting the funding webinar. So Isa, that's probably going to be a good one for you to join if you're interested in that service. And like I said, I will get someone to contact you on that. And so, we're really pleased to say that we have great client feedback. Our clients stay with us for a long time. And this is just one of the quotes and the testimonials that we have been given, one of many. So you can see we are a very credible organization that is totally here to support you in any way that we can. So what should you be doing next? If you want a member to arrange a meeting with a member of our team, please go to bit.ly tools webinar. Bit.ly is case sensitive, so you do need to use those capitals. Can I ask Belinda to tap that in the chat box actually, so that you can click and go straight to that. And then a member of our team will be following up with you for a call and to see if there's any way we can support you further. Before we wrap up this webinar, do you have any final questions?
As you said, I understand is someone going to get back to me regarding the fundraising and gift aids?
Yep, someone will get back to you regarding fundraising.
Okay, for this period of where we have to stay away. And what would you advise with the situation of paying mortgage and rents for the church premises at the moment?
Also, when the person contacts you about funding, that's a question that you can ask them. I wouldn't want to give you inaccurate advice, and it's not my area of specialism. So when somebody calls you, you can always also ask that question, and they will be able to give you reliable advice.
Okay, thank you so much.
Excellent. Well, if that's it, thank you so much for joining. Like I said, please look out for a follow-up email, which I will be sending out tomorrow, the latest. And if we can help you in any way, please, like I said, someone will be in touch, but please don't hesitate to reach out to us, goodtogive.co.uk, and we will absolutely support you through this time. So thanks for joining. Have a fantastic afternoon, rest of the week, and I hope to speak to you again soon.